unfortunately for you guys, there's no footage of us two-stepping, absolutely sucking.
I wanna find some please come and let them do the same to me. I wanna live fast, love hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. And then that was it. Austin, we give thumbs up. Two-stepping and tacos, man. Because we had to bust a move to our next Texas location.
We did, in a town called Kingsbury, Texas.
Have you heard of it?
We hadn't residency along our trip,
Stay tuned. Are you gonna fit between these trees? Habitable spaces. Habitable spaces. It was going. Remember when we got to habitable spaces and then we couldn't get into habitable spaces?
It was snug. Yeah.
Don't put a hole in the roof. All right, I'm just gonna go super slow. You're super badass, babe.
So shit some muscle on your pretty face.
Yeah, right?
Crazy girls up on me. You got it, just so slow. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down!
When we were trying to make it around this corner, we couldn't make it past this staircase. So they called the neighbor.
They called Sam, who is a trailer surgeon.
And a lawyer. Just when we thought we were out of the woods.
No, we were definitely in the woods.
Oh boy. Yeah, you're stuck now.
How you doing up there, Danielle?
I'm doing great. Woo! Holy crap, Sam, you're amazing. Woo!
I think she had the most.
I had a great time.
Everything they're doing at the rodeo in San Antonio ain't nothing compared to that.
Crap, look how deep that mud was.
Oh boy. Put the chalk in.
Oh.
Sam had his CDL license, his carrier license, for a semi-truck when he was 16.
Whatever.
He's been doing it ever since. Thank you, Sam.
So, Habitable Spaces is in its infancy. It's a baby. It's a baby project still.
Yep. And obviously the founders, Shane and Alison, are our featured folk.
For
this episode.
sure.
Definitely.
Habitable Spaces is a sustainable farm and artist residency program, and we also do a lot of outreach to the rural community that we're in. We're in a little town called Kingsbury. It's about 221 people, and we're in rural farmland in between Austin, San Antonio, near San Marcos, and New Braunfels, so South Central Texas. I'm Alison Ward, and I am an artist, and I make videos and installation pieces, and I'm also the director of Habitable Spaces.
Hi, I'm Shane Heinemeier. I'm a painter by trade. Alison and I started this project, and I'm also a founding director of Habitable Spaces and the president of Habitable Spaces.
The idea making this space was to try to get arts out of the urban spaces that they tend to dwell in. You know, and the artists tend to go to cities, and we wanted to bring artists back out into the countryside, into rural space where they can make work and also get a feel and get a knowledge of rural roots.
So we're going into the common house, and right now the artist in residence, Eleanor, is working on these gigantic wood burnings. I think there's 9 pieces that you're working on. Each
9
one,
total.
yeah, each one is roughly like a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and they're going to cover the ceiling in here, which is going to be super cool.
But for us, it's also a double-edged sword. It's like we're bringing artists out into the rural, but also bringing like arts to the rural community out here, and I think that's a really big part of what we're doing. So we're not just focusing on fine arts, we're also focusing on craft arts and craft trades historically done, you know, in a lot of rural areas.
Okay, how does where you live impact your practice?
As a painter, having to like kind of be in this reclusive space, and then Alison doing performance, which a lot of stuff's very extroverted and stuff, but being New York artists, that's a totally different thing moving to Kingsbury, Texas, and starting a farm.
I think for me, it's a bit different than for you too, because like you always relied on the studio practice, and
Right.
my artwork is always about the audience. I mean, I consider what I do actually tricking people into partaking in art. You know, even when I was making videos and installation pieces, it's like all of my performance work was involving the audience, getting them to dance, getting them to clap at a certain time, getting them to become performance artists themselves, getting them involved in this space and enjoying art and making art. It feels like just an extension of the kind of work I used to do. It feels very natural. But yeah, I guess this space is all about bringing community in and interacting with the community and having multiple voices make art together.
So this was my impulsive addition to the Habitable Spaces. We needed a dinner bell, so I just went to the junkyard and made one.
It's not dinner. It's not dinner. It's not dinner.
Sorry.
You're gonna confuse everybody.
We were just a few of the artists that were actually in residency at the time. We made really good friends with the other artist, Eleanor, who was there. And we were there really to focus on a spinning and like fiber processing demonstration and workshop.
Yeah, so the best part about that is we got to go over to the neighbor's, Sam's house, and we got to shear some of his sheep to use the wool for the... Why are you laughing?
Well, there's a reason why that's an entire profession, because
None of us
we're not any good at it.
None of us know how to shear sheep. You usually hire someone to do that beforehand. So, and then the shears broke in the middle of it, so like the sheep looked just like mangled. First time shearing, not the prettiest shear. Where's the other lady? Where is she? Oh, we only did like a quarter of her. Texas wool, man, like it's just full of prickly pear cactus.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was nasty.
And fire ants and just kidding. I'm not. So then the community came and we had our workshop where we did like a whole demonstration and history of fiber processing, and they decorated their drop spindles and we all spun yarn. I didn't get any footage of us spinning yarn because we were too busy doing it. And I was really surprised how focused people were on learning that craft.
No, people were really into it. I mean, and I think that that's like also a big testament to the kind of like the environment that Habitable Spaces creates. Is like it's a space of learning and a space of community, and everybody was there to be a part of the event and to learn and to participate.
And then eat local food and party at the end.
That helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Are we going now? So it's March 2nd, and people are getting ready to put stuff on the ground because they're done with frost here in South Central Texas on March 2nd. So we're going to just kind of give you guys a little tour of Habitable Spaces and some of the buildings and projects they're working on. And here we go. So this is the main building over here that is the common house. The top floor here is the artist residency space. All of the buildings that are here, the common house, the seed and feed shed over here, Shane and Alison's house behind us over here, the tool shed and bathhouse over there. All of the infrastructure for the animals is all made out of salvaged material, stuff that was donated to Habitable Spaces or was salvaged by the people that were working here. Okay, so this is the entrance to the common house, or one of the entrances. And one of the things that's really cool is instead of wrapping this whole building in Tyvek, which is basically like a single-use material, what they did right now while they're waiting for the siding is they've reused these billboards. There's Bruno. Thank you, Bruno.
Brunhilde.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. They had a graffiti artist come and they did a graffiti artist workshop.
So in the common house, there's a bunch of other cool things that are all salvaged material again. All of this beadboard made from old doors, which is really beautiful. The countertop that Griswold the cat is lying on. The kitchen, all the tile work was donated, salvaged, was excess from other projects. At the seed and feed shed, which is where we keep all the seed and the feed.
Really?
Yeah. And Rob is organizing some of all the different feeds that we have right now. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at this strong man in there. Rob is a woofer. Woofer stands for Worldwide Operation Organic farms.
Yep.
I don't know. Google it. This episode is already too long.
Everybody
No more.
knows what a
And
woofer is.
Oh, the second thing is that I want to shout out to Rob, Woofer Rob,
Oh yeah.
for his incredible tarot card reading skills.
Yeah.
He also has a fantastic YouTube channel.
He does.
More followers than we do.
Thing is, this whole area here is watered with the gray water runoff from the kitchen. So everything from the sink, from the dishwasher, and from the washing machine. So they're using all plant-based soaps and things like that, so they are fine to be absorbed by the plants, which is really cool. So this is the rabbit hutch. Again, everything made out of salvage materials. These are the slain remnants
No.
of the rabbits.
No.
The rabbits did all of this.
Look at the bones, man. Look at the bones. Now we have to insert the clip from the Holy Grail so we can understand this reference.
Here he is. Dick, I'm warning you. What's he do? Nibble your bum? He's got huge, sharp... he can leap about... Look at the bones! What? Here he is.
Okay, fire pit.
Obligatory fire pit. There's a lot of interesting alternative structures for living here. One of them is this yurt, which is really cool. That
It's for Bob
is
the Woofer.
currently- Yep. And then there's also another couple here that is living in a tiny house right now.
Maynard leads the way.
Maynard leads the way. First two rows are greens. It looks like there's some beans coming in here.
Lettuce.
I think this second row is in transition right now. And then these next three beds are all onions.
These guys are working. That's Johnny, that's Bob and Angel, working their buns off every day.
Every day. Cool.
Every
All right,
day.
let's go check
Make
out,
this place awesome.
Let's go check out the chicken.
Why do you keep doing it?
At this point, if I had to think about why we keep doing it, because there's no way out. I mean, we live in the middle of the woods, and we built these buildings, and they may not be completely finished. But I that's just the joking answer. But we're so involved in this project, and we believe in this project so strongly that it's going to take care of itself. I mean, a good professor once told me, you take care of your art and it takes care of you. I mean, I think that it's going to go places as far as Habitable Spaces being an artist residency and self-sustainable farm brings the community together here in Kingsbury and the worldwide community in the art scene. So I think what we're creating is very unique in that sense.
Shane and Alison both work as art handlers at some local museums, and they're art installers. So a lot of these materials are actually left over from old art installations. And Alison is really judicious about salvaging materials from an art industry that is actually super wasteful. Yeah, you look cute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the rest of the tour, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite parts of Habitable Spaces, and that's the land itself. And they have, what was it, 190 acres of fields that used to be cotton fields, and they're letting nature take its course. It's funny, a lot of the land looks a lot like Martha's Vineyard, except there's cactuses and venomous snakes. My favorite part is that the dogs will join you wherever you go. They want to chauffeur you around.
And Maynard is adorable.
It's time. It's time to cue the magical dog montage. Settling fast into Texas life, Kingsbury, Texas life, and what it meant to be to live in a community farm.
Yeah, it was really interesting seeing, how multiple people kind of navigate a big project together. And it was amazing how, how Shane and Alison were able to just delegate tasks and be like, okay, here's the project. We trust you guys. We understand that you'll be able to get it done. Go ahead and figure it out.
Yeah.
And we did.
Why I keep doing it? It's like why I keep doing it. Well, I feel like life is so short, and this life is so amazing. I mean, we're gifted with life, and we've got we have all our limbs and both eyes, and we should celebrate that. I mean, there's not enough time to do enough in this world, and the fact that we were lucky enough to be able to create this place is amazing to me. Like, it gives me so much energy. Like, wow, it's like this crazy dream. Like, we can create every single facet of this huge space, all these buildings and people and plants and stuff. It's like a whole fabric of society. It's awesome.
My whole life, I always felt like when you paid rent, I was always throwing money away. It was just like, geez. But being able to start something that every aspect of what we're doing is living an artful life, being mindful of every
Living
aspect
an artful life,
of
super important.
yeah, and being aware of every aspect of what goes into that, from your food to the way you live, to the way you treat animals and people around you,
And plants and yeah.
and how to bring art into it of all kinds. So, you know, I mean, that's really the real answer is why we keep doing it. It's because that's possible. Because that's a life that you can live if you choose to live it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pops. Hey, buddy. I'm gonna miss you. Saying goodbye to those dogs.
It's like a Hallmark movie.
That was hard. It's killing me. This is like... It's killing me. You stay. No, Maynard, stay. Maynard, stay. Oh. When he came through the fence and then like I like looked at him in the rear view mirror as I drove away, it started to become apparent that this was going to be a theme throughout our journey, is that you're going to make new connections,
Yeah.
and then you will have to say goodbye to them.
It's a see you
That's
later.
life. It's a
To
you're
see you
so
later.
You're so sweet. It's a
Yeah,
see ya. That's
yeah.
true. You never say bye. You say
Oh.
see ya. See you later. Life is a series of hellos and goodbyes.
Hmm.
That was pretty profound. I'm pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yeah.